Fuck, man. Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glories to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakodash, and the honors to the apostles and others who read millstones, salutations to the hopeful elect. This is brother I'm Noah Allah from Jimmy, Chicago. And as what you see here, on the news, uh, is already spreading, this new variant, right? This new MB181 variant is now catching a lot of attention in the mainstream media. All right, not pretty much in these people that are asleep and don't know what's going on, but it's out there in the mainstream media. All right, and it says a new COVID variant could drive up summer cases. Here's what you should know: a variant appears to be more transmissible than the dominant strain worldwide, LP81, meaning it has the potential to drive up cases this summer. So yeah, if this is really true, all right, if this is really it, we can see a repeat of 2020, but even worse, all right, because a lot of people already took these jump shots, all right. A lot of people took these jump shots, and a lot of them that took these extra boosters and these other jump shots that Esau encouraged people to get. All right, a lot of them are no longer alive right now. All right, a lot of them, cut that graphene. They started getting blood clots. All right, they started getting myocarditis. And they even tell you that in the news too. Right, those who took the jump shots, all right, they now have a higher risk of getting myocarditis. And what that is basically a heart attack, blood clot, myocarditis, myocarditis. Yeah, myocarditis is usually caused by viral infection. A severe case can weaken the heart, which can lead to a heart failure, abnormal heartbeat, and sudden death. And yeah, the majority of people who took, those jump shots, all right, a lot of them are no longer alive right now. And even crazy too, but I'm not gonna read it out loud because I don't want to risk getting my, uh, a strike because that shit is annoying. But it says, FDA asked Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna to add myocarditis risk to COVID. Oh yeah, you know what it says right there on the top. But fuck, it's on the mainstream media. All right, you're seeing this on the mainstream media. It says FDA expands COVID. You know what? Warning about heart side effect risk for young males. All right, and this is CBS News. All right, one that I mainly watch. I think it is kind of valid. You know, says the Food and Drug Administration is telling Pfizer and Moderna to expand the warning labels on their, about the risk of a possible heart injury side effect linked to the mRNA. Primarily in teens, in teen boys and young men, citing findings from a study published last year in New Agency Data. And now you're seeing all right, the rising in cases of this new variant that is spreading right now. All right, they even have it in Australia. A recent notification that just popped up on the top of my screen. So I decided to do a lesson about it since now it's on the mainstream media and is now grabbing attention. All right. But yeah, we could very well see a repeat of 2020. All right, these lockdowns are coming back, and it ain't gonna be very light either. All right, It's not gonna be a cakewalk. You know, a walk in the park. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be easy this time. All right. Once this second lockdown comes into place. All right. But it says a new COVID variant that is gaining momentum globally has landed in the United States. The World Health Organization announced last week that it is monitoring the variant NB181 following a rise in cases in several parts of the world, including Europe and Southeast Asia and North and South America. And this came out of the blue. Right, this came out of nowhere. All right, just like what happened in 2020. All right, people weren't really paying attention. Right, were small amount of people were paying attention to it, but a lot of people didn't pay no mind to it. All right, in 2020 until it started spreading. All right, until it started spreading to the United States and you know when the lockdowns came. All right, people took it serious, and he rolled out the jump shots, and a lot of people have taken them. Right now, a lot of people are getting them side effects. Right, but yeah, you know the same narrative Esau's using since 2020. He's using it again right now. Right, if this is really serious. All right, because months back, all right, they were reporting about Marburg, the bird flu, the measles, all right, the ticks or whatever that is. There's so much other viruses too. All right, they were also catching attention, but nothing really happened. But but yeah, what Esau is trying to do is he's trying to catch the world off guard. All right, and then just like not too long ago, but Bill Gates has warned about the next pandemic. All right, that will catch people's attention this time, and this can very well be it. All right, 5 years later, and yeah, it says, but it does not seem to be much better than LPA1 at evading protection from what. So meaning that those who took the jump shots, all right, ain't gonna those jump shots are not gonna protect you from this new variant, basically. All right, because now you took the jump shot, now your immune system has already been weakened. All right, and then they tell you that in the news that now you have a risk of gaining uh of myocarditis. All right, so a lot of people are literally about to perish. But it says, and the World Health Organization has found no evidence that it leads to more severe illness, so the agency has determined that it doesn't pose an added health risk. And they're using the same narrative that they were using in 2020, with COVID, all right? Because from the beginning, they didn't say that it was transmissible to human, but then all of a sudden, a month later or two, all right, now it's transmissible from human to human. All right. They didn't say that you can get it through the air, but now all of a sudden, a couple months or weeks, they tell you now you gotta wear a mask, right? Because people can inhale it through the air. But it's the same narrative. It's the same narrative that Esau is using again. All right, here in this year. All right, he's just moving with gradualism right now. But nonetheless, yeah, then the second lockdowns are coming back. All right, and it's not gonna be cakewalk. It's gonna be hell on earth. All right, people are about to face hell on earth. But nonetheless, I'm gonna bring up the precepts already because you know we're gonna sound like a broken record, but this warning has to come out. It says Ezekiel 3:17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. And yeah, the Lord, He sets His watchmen, all right, unto the house of Israel, right, to warn them of the prophecies that are about to come to pass. All right, we're warning our people that Esau is about to come down with great wrath. World War III, the RFID microchip that's about to be implemented, which is the mark of the beast. All right, the financial collapse, the famine, the plagues, the pestilences. All right, that are about come upon this world. All right, and that's what we're set up. You know, that is our job basically, right? To give the house of Israel warning, right, before it's too late. Which it will be too late for for these 2/3, but really we're out here for the elect. But it says, when I say unto the wicked, those shall surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. And hey, we're supposed to go out there and highways and byways and prophesy this word unto the house of Israel, right? Because if we don't, right, the blood will be on our hands. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. And we're supposed to, prophesy this word unto the house of Israel, whether if they will hear or forbear, right? They, those who don't repent, all right, in the scriptures it tells you that the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So if these people don't believe and they continue to scoff and mock and don't really give a shit, all right, they're gonna die in their unfaithfulness. All right, they will be punished. And hey, if this doesn't really come out to be anything, we also got to remember in the scriptures, right, in Habakkuk 2:3, it tells you, Habakkuk 2:3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And yeah, alright, the prophecies are not tarrying anymore. Alright, you're seeing these prophecies come to pass. You're seeing you're seeing that World War III is brewing in the midst. Alright. You're seeing that the implementation of the RFID microchip is brewing near. You're seeing that Esau is even trying to do away with paper checks, pennies. Alright. Basically, Esau is about to implement a new monetary system, right, by the way of the RFID microchip. But nonetheless, the point of the scripture is that, these prophecies are no longer tarrying anymore. So yeah, if it does seem like, nothing will happen with this new variant, alright, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but the end it shall speak and not lie. And we're seeing that these prophecies are speaking, alright. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. And yeah, may feel like a little while, may seem like nothing is happening, but you also got to remember that we're in the calm before the storm. Alright, these prophecies are not tarrying, or they come to pass, as what is written in the scriptures. Alright, and yeah, we can very well see a whole new round of lockdowns. Alright, and by then, Esau is about to declare martial law too. It says, fear none of those things which those shall suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation. 10 days can be more than 10 days, can be months. Alright? But it says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And yeah, there will be FEMA camps, alright, all across the United States and, all these other countries too. Right, Esau's about set up, these FEMA camps, these concentration camps, however you want to call it. But yeah, a lot of us are about to be thrown in the FEMA camps, right? Those quarantine camps that Esau is about to use into place, right? But it says, "But be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." And yeah, Esau's gonna have that guillotine over there in them camps too, them FEMA camps. But it says, "Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life." And they, the a lot of the lords, most of the, well, not most, but some of the Lord's elect, all right, they're about to be made martyrs, all right, for the testimony of Yahushua, all right, for this word, all right, for refusing to take the R4D microchip that Esau will soon make it mandatory to where if you don't take it or you don't eat, if you don't take it, or you can no longer, participate in society if you don't take it, all right, we're gonna have to chop your head off. All right, that's what is about to come to pass. All right, that is what is about to happen. All right, and them guillotines, all right, they coming back. All right, Trump also talked about bringing back the guillotine. All right. Bring out Second Esdras real quick. Second Esdras chapter. It'll be the last one, but 15 and 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of the pride of the city shall be trouble, and the houses shall be destroyed, and the man shall be afraid." So yeah, we're about to see a lot of shit happening. All right, martial law is gonna be declared by then. All right, soon people are not gonna be able to go from city to city. All right, neighborhood to neighborhood. All right, because Esau's gonna have them checkpoints set up. All right, people are not gonna be able to go, into these larger cities, all right, like your Chicago or your New York or your New York City or whatever. All right, Esau's about to literally, implement checkpoints when he declares martial law, restricting people's transportation because there's gonna be a lot of hell on earth. All right, the Lord is about to unleash a lot of hell on earth. All right, the Lord is about to release those spirits created for vengeance. All right, uh, these viruses are gonna go out of control. Esau is about to come down with that great wrath. A lot of these people are gonna be spoiling each other because of the lack of goods. All right, and the reason why these things are about to happen is because of these people's pride. Right, it says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Because of these people's pride. All right, a lot of our people, right, 2/3 of our people need to perish. All right, because of their pride. They've been given this warning, but look at them. They're still doing folly. They're still committing iniquity. All right, they're rejecting the warnings of Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua. But nonetheless, keep your eyes peeled. All right, this can very well be a whole new pandemic. But yeah, shalom till next time.